The Definitely Maybe 30th Anniversary Deluxe Edition is here. Let's talk about the Deluxe CD and the Deluxe Vinyl. We'll take a look at the packages and also talk about the long-famed Monnow Valley sessions right here, right now. Hey everybody, it's Nick here with you. Welcome back to the channel. All right, so Definitely Maybe, the debut album from Oasis, we all know which album we're talking about, is 30 years old. It came out on August 29th, 1994. And this past Friday, the deluxe editions of the album came out on various formats, including 2 CD, 2 LP, and 4 LP box set. Now that 4 LP box set was mighty tempting, but unfortunately the price for that one was a little bit too rich for my blood. So I went with the deluxe 2 CD edition because most of my Oasis collection is on CD. And then I also went with the 2 LP pink splatter vinyl, which is really, really cool. And we'll get to the unboxing of these packages in just a minute. But first, I want to talk about these alternate versions of Definitely Maybe that we finally got on this 30th Anniversary Deluxe Edition, the famed Monnow Valley sessions, and some of the outtakes from the Sawmills recording sessions. Okay, so we all know the story by now, at least I think we do. We've been talking about it a lot over the last few months. The Monnow Valley sessions of Definitely Maybe are essentially the first recording sessions of the album that the band did at Monnow Valley Studios in Wales that they then scrapped before going to re-record the album again at Sawmills Studios in Cornwall. And I think the biggest thing that I noticed about these Monnow Valley sessions upon finally listening to them and finally get to hear these famed sessions is that they are by no means the unmitigated disaster that the band has painted them as over the last 30 years. Everything that we've heard about the Monnow Valley sessions of Definitely Maybe that they did with the producer Dave Batchelor is that it didn't really sound like the band. It didn't really reflect their live sound and their energy and was overall very lackluster. And I have to say, I disagree with that assessment. I think this thing actually sounds pretty damn good. Is it as good as the original Definitely Maybe album? Absolutely not. That is a very, very hard thing to do, but it's really not the disaster that everybody really made it out to be over the last 30 years. And I think the thing that jumped out to me the most was that it really just sounds, for the most part, like Oasis. It sounds like the band. It still has that energetic, raw performance kind of quality. The performances sound great. I don't really know what the issue was with the Monnow Valley sessions. Does it maybe lack a little bit of the energy of the finished Definitely Maybe album? That could be, but we've also been listening to the finished version of Definitely Maybe for the last 30 years or so. So maybe we're just really biased towards that OG record. The production overall does have a lot less reverb than the finished record. It does sound a lot cleaner than the finished version, but then if this was given the Owen Morris treatment, just like the original album, I really think it could have been fine. Another thing that I will say about these Monnow Valley sessions is that it's a little bit more Beatle-y than the finished albums. Like Noel's harmonies mixed with Liam's voice sound very, very Lennon and McCartney. The vocals and the harmonies sound a lot more lush. The softer guitar sound on some of these songs makes it sound a lot more 60s-ish, especially on songs like Up in the Sky. And I did a 30th anniversary retrospective here on the channel with my friends Hector and Ryan. I'll link that up for you here so you can check that out. And we talked about how this sounds a little bit more Beatle-y and how Definitely Maybe in general, when you listen to the finished album, does not really sound at all like the Beatles. So it doesn't really make sense for Oasis to get those Beatles comparisons off the back of Definitely Maybe. But when you get to this Monnow Valley version of the record, there are way more Beatleisms happening. And there's a couple of the Oasisisms that are really missing from these Monnow Valley versions. Rock and Roll Star is missing that big Noel Gallagher riff that kicks off the beginning of the song that really sets the tone for the rest of the record. Liam doesn't sing Sunshine like he usually does on Rock and Roll Star. And in general, there's a couple of things that are missing, but overall it's pretty much the same. One of the things that I really noticed about this is that Live Forever doesn't open with the big drums on it. That's absolute insanity. But then can we talk about how great Liam sounds on these Monnow Valley sessions? His voice sounds incredible on here. I love the double vocals on the chorus of Live Forever, and I really like this version as well. It mixes together the harder version that we got on the finished record and more of Noel's acoustic version that he's played throughout the years. But overall, there aren't a lot of huge differences between these versions and the final versions that we got on Definitely Maybe. Live Forever has some Don't Go Away style guitar chiming and picking at the end, which was the first thing that I thought about. It reminded me of Don't Go Away. Up in the Sky, like I said, sounds very Beatle-y. Columbia has some interesting guitar on it as well. But it's really with Columbia, we've heard so many versions of this song. I'm going to have to do a video just about the different versions of Columbia that we've gotten over the years. I have to say there's probably, at least a dozen different versions. It's hard to capture the magic of the final studio version, but it's still cool. Columbia is a great song, but there are, I think, infinite versions of that song that have been recorded over the years. Overall, I think that these Monnow Valley sessions, they're actually pretty good. They're not as iconic as the finished Definitely Maybe album, but they're nowhere near the disaster that the band said they were over the years. When you think about it, at the end of the day, this is Oasis, right? They were an awesome band when they were recording Definitely Maybe. They were at the height of their powers. So regardless of what the production sounds like, the band sounds fantastic. And this is Oasis we're talking about. Like, come on. And as for these Sawmill sessions, not really a lot to say about this. They're the OG versions of the album that they recorded at Sawmill Studios, but without the overdubs. So it's the performances that we know and love with some minor variations happening in there, but it's the performances that we know and love, the recordings that we know and love without all the bells and whistles. Yeah, there's some differences in the performances happening, but overall they're the same kind of deal. You know, at this point, we've heard so many different versions of the Definitely Maybe songs that they all start to blend together. I can't even really tell the difference anymore. And of course, we have the Liam sung version of Sad Song, something that fans have been wanting to hear for a very, very long time. It's cool. I like the Liam version of Sad Song. I like his vocal, but still really feel that this song is best suited to Noel Gallagher and his version, for me, the one that was first featured on the vinyl only version of Definitely Maybe back in 1994. His version of Sad Song will always be the definitive version for me. And at this point, guys, I think we finally scraped the bottom of the barrel when it comes to the Definitely Maybe sessions. There is nothing left. I don't really think there's anything else that we can put on here. What are they going to do for the 40th anniversary edition? Who knows? Like, I really don't think there's anything that they could put on that. If they do a 40th anniversary edition of Definitely Maybe, will I buy it? Definitely. Maybe. No, definitely. And on that note, guys, let's finally take a look at these 30th anniversary deluxe edition packages from Oasis. We got the CD and we got the vinyl. But just a quick note, guys, I really don't need any more versions of Definitely Maybe. I have the original CD that I bought when that came out back in the 90s. What else do I got here? I got the dual disc version. I don't even know why I have that. I have the 10th anniversary documentary DVD that came out in 2004. I have the 20th anniversary edition of Definitely Maybe that came out in 2014. I have the 25th anniversary vinyl edition of Definitely Maybe that came out in 2019. And then finally, I got these 30th anniversary editions that just came out. I think I have enough copies of Definitely Maybe. But taking a look at this CD, this features, and the vinyl as well, features new artwork from Microdot, which features the Definitely Maybe cover, but with the band members removed. So that is very, very cool. Sorry for the glare, guys, but there you go. You can take a look at the cover. It's got that famous room, which I think was at Bonehead's house in Manchester back in '94, his front room. But it's the cover without the band members on it. You got the picture of Burt Bacharach. You got the guitar there. But I feel like they did some, I think I heard that Brian Cannon, I'm not sure if Michael Spencer Jones was involved in this as well, but Brian Cannon did some digital trickery to take out the band members from the cover of Definitely Maybe. And then looking at the back, there you go. Very, very cool looking. Very kind of glossy looking when you look at it. That is very cool. And it's got the track listing on there. Let's pop open the CD. This is cool as well. New artwork from Microdot featuring, I believe this is Sawmills, but guys, you can correct me if I'm wrong. And that is the new artwork from there featuring Sawmill Studios. And then on the back as well, Definitely Maybe. Popping this open, we have a very, very cool booklet. Some very cool pictures in there. Can't show you guys everything, but very cool pictures in there. Very cool content. I still have to go through this. I haven't gone through the whole thing and gone through the liner notes, but I very much want to in the coming days. And then taking a look at the CD. Sorry for the glare. There's the CD, which the artwork reminds me pretty much of every other kind of Definitely Maybe CD that we've gotten over the years. And then, whoop, microphone's falling over. And then we got the CD too in there as well. as the Oasis logo. So that's your look at the deluxe CD edition of Definitely Maybe 30th Anniversary. And as I said, I didn't go for the 4 LP box set version of Definitely Maybe. That was a little bit rich for my blood, but I did go with the 2 LP version, which features some pink splatter vinyl, which I'll show you in a second. But there you go. Sorry for the glare, guys, but there's the cover again, featuring new artwork with Microdot with the band removed from the Definitely Maybe cover. And then we got the back as well. This is a really great looking package. This is really, really sweet. Thank you to Dr. Disc for having this in stock for me there. And well, actually, before I pull these out, I'll show you the middle here. And this is the same pictures that they had of Sawmills. Again, sorry for any glare, guys. Taking a look there, and then taking a look at the actual vinyl themselves. This is really cool. The LP inserts have some really cool artwork in there. I think that's Noel's guitar with his amp and his setup from back in the day, what he would play during a gig during the Definitely Maybe days. On here we have a picture of Liam's tambourine, obviously iconic. Liam's tambourine in there, and then taking a look at the vinyls themselves. This is I believe, a splatter pink vinyl. There's LP number 1 on there for you. So that's really, really cool. Then taking a look at LP number 2, you can look at this this insert here that has one of the band's set lists from the Definitely Maybe days. That's really cool. And then on this side, we have King Tut's Wah-Wah Hut, which is the venue in Glasgow, Scotland, where the band was discovered by Alan McGee in 1993. And then on here, we have the album as well, on pink splatter vinyl. This is a really, really cool package. I'm really glad. I don't think I'll need any more vinyl editions of Definitely Maybe, but because of this different artwork that we got from Brian Cannon, the fact that it is different than any other edition of Definitely Maybe that we've gotten in the past, it made it basically a must-have pickup for me. So I'm really, really happy with these deluxe edition packages of Definitely Maybe. They look fantastic. All right, guys, and that is it. That is my review of the new Definitely Maybe Deluxe Edition 30th Anniversary. Let me know your thoughts about the package in the comments below, whether you just listened to it online or you picked it up on CD or on vinyl. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this package. And I think that will pretty much wrap up my Definitely Maybe 30th Anniversary content here on the channel. We've talked a lot about it over the last year, over the last 6 months, over the last few weeks. Obviously, I had my friends Hector and Ryan on the channel to do a 30th anniversary album retrospective here that we did last week. I'll link that up for you here so you can check it out. And we've talked a lot about Definitely Maybe. Now it's time to move forward into 2025. We're going to talk more about the reunion, obviously. And then I believe there will definitely be a 25th or 30th anniversary, 30th anniversary edition of What's the Story Morning Glory that's going to come out in 2025. But lots of Oasis stuff to talk about here coming up on the channel. Make sure to toss me a like. I'd appreciate that, guys. If you like this video, make sure to smash the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos, whether it be about Oasis or anything else here on the channel. And make sure to follow me on social media across platforms at Nick Chino Music. But I'll see you guys again for another video here on the channel. Until then, rock on, everybody.